Sony revealed which games will be added to the PS Plus Extra and Deluxe catalog on September 17th. Subscribe to the channel, give us a like, and now you'll find out which games will be added to the catalog and which will be removed. The new game in the catalog will be Chernobylite. It's a first-person shooter where the protagonist returns to Chernobyl 30 years after the accident to find out why his fiancée, who disappeared there, appears in his dreams. Chernobylite is intriguing with a plot that is interesting to follow, although at times it looks a bit overloaded and convoluted, especially the ending. By the way, there are several endings here. They are influenced by relationships with secondary characters and the choice that the player makes at the very end. Chernobylite is unlikely to appeal to players who want to run around the zone and shoot monsters left and right, but those who prefer a measured gameplay with the study of locations and collecting various trash for crafting, the game is likely to go. Far Cry 5 also returns to the catalog. In the 5th installment, events take place in the fictional Hope County, Montana, where a self-proclaimed prophet named Joseph Seed has established a religious society called the Gates of Eden. The player, in the role of a sheriff's deputy, has to deal with him and his family to save the locals from the tyranny of the cultists. The next game that replenishes is called Night in the Woods. It's a Quest Wanderer events which take place in the world of zoomorphic people. The plot tells about a young Catwoman named May who drops out of college and returns to her hometown. However, her home now seems different to her, and her friends have grown up and changed. The player will have to run, jump, solve puzzles, and use astral projection to explore areas of the town and surrounding areas and uncover the secrets of her friends and home. A new subscription game is Under the Waves. It is a narrative adventure game set in the North Sea in a techno-futuristic 1970s setting. You play as professional diver Stan, who has traveled to the depths of the sea to overcome a loss that has changed his life. Isolation in the depths of the sea suits his state of mind, and as Stan sinks deeper and deeper into his voluntary solitude, strange things start to happen to him, and eventually he has to make the difficult choice to stay in the abyss forever, or to surface and spend the rest of his life there. The game is unhurried and will appeal to those players who like unhurried exploration of the world around them and the gradual revealing of the secrets of the protagonist's past and his growth over himself. The next game that will be added to Extra's subscription is called the Plucky Squire. This is a new game that from the day of its release will go straight into the subscription. In this game, the drawn characters of a book are taken beyond its cover into a three-dimensional world. In the story, the villain Birchin has found a way to banish the protagonist named Ochurk from the book as he realizes that because of him, he has to lose the battle between good and evil all the time. Ochurk, in turn, must find a way to return and punish the villain. The toy looks very cool. It constantly changes the art style and gameplay, and the idea itself is not new, but it is interesting. The new game of the catalog will be Space Engineers. It is a sandbox game which gameplay is based on building spaceships and stations to explore planets and asteroids, to find resources there, to spend them on building spaceships and stations, to explore planets and asteroids, to find resources there, and so on. The next game that will be added to Extra's subscription is called Road 96. The adventure game tells the story of a teenager who tries to escape from the authoritarian state of Petria. On his way, he meets characters with whom he gets acquainted, and over time gets to know better and better, and his actions, sometimes even seemingly insignificant, affect the development of the story. The game has interesting dialogues, various situations with a lot of mini-games. By the way, Road 96 uses procedural world generation, so each road adventure is unique and different from the previous one. Also, Wild Card Football Simulator and Ben 10 Action Adventure will be included in the subscription. Deluxe and Premium subscription holders and PSVR 2 helmets will also get access to Pistol Whip. This is a very simple game in terms of visuals and gameplay, which can make you sweat like a horse on a high-speed race, dodge bullets, fall to the floor, and none from the pain of shoulders and forearms, so you will have to shoot a lot. Those who have a helmet, I advise you to pass the story campaign and separate levels. Also, for Deluxe and Premium subscribers will be available Action Platformer, Secret Agent Clank, and Action Plane Simulator, Sky Gunner, Mr. Mosquito. Let me know in the comments what you think of the addition. In my opinion, it turned out to be very good for those who are into indie games. Night in the Woods, Road 96, and Under the Waves are very famous projects that have won the love of gamers, and these games you would hardly buy for your own money. VR helmet owners got a very cool shooter for free. The Plucky Squire is a game available on the day of release, with an interesting idea and a nice picture, which I will definitely play. The only people who suffered are fans of extremely realistic 3D games. Far Cry 5 is already quite old and was in the subscription earlier, and as for Chernobylite, it's quite a controversial game in which it's interesting to watch the story, build a base, but the gameplay in it is quite lame and makes you run through the same locations over and over again, which at the end is already boring, but it's not very long. I like the game, but it lacks quality and more money, so it has big ambitions. And now I will tell you about the 15 games that will leave the subscription on September September 17th. The first game leaving the subscription in September is Horizon Forbidden West. In the game's story, life on Earth is on the brink of another extinction, with ferocious storms and deadly diseases ravaging the scattered remnants of human tribes. The protagonist, Eloy, will have to explore distant lands, meet there with new tribes, giant terrifying machines, uncover the secrets behind these threats, and bring order and harmony back to this world. I don't understand why Sony is removing their games from their subscription. After all, it's the easiest and least expensive way to attract an audience to their subscription. And now, both parts of Horizon have left it. Quite a strange move that I strongly condemn. Also, leaving the subscription is Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2. It is a first-person shooter where the player has to take on the role of a hired assassin sniper and carry out missions in the Middle East region on the border of Lebanon and Syria. The game features realistic sniper gameplay, an arsenal of weapons based on real samples and large game locations. In addition to working with the sniper at long distances, the player will also have to stealthily infiltrate enemy bases, fighting in close combat. On the 17th of September, Planet Coaster Console Edition will leave the subscription. This is an amusement park simulator where you need to build various rides and make money with a shovel. For this purpose, players have access to a lot of carousels, slides, and other fun for visitors. But in order not to go broke, you'll have to work very hard to make it interesting, affordable, and workable. In September, 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim will leave the PS Plus Extra catalog. The game is created at the intersection of two genres, visual novel and strategy. In the visual novel mode, you walk around locations and interact with characters, uncover mysteries, and progress through the story, which many praise for its multi-layered nature and stunning plot twists. In strategy mode, the player pilots giant robots and defends bases from the onslaught of mechanical kaiju. The game's emphasis is on story, and battles are rather required for variety, and to get the player more into the role of schoolboys fighting monsters. The next game leaving the subscription was Unpacking. It is a meditative puzzle game, the essence of which is that you need to unpack things after moving and put them in their places in the room, and if some item is in the wrong place, the game will highlight it in red color and it will have to find another place. The toy is completely unstressful, simple and short, but that's what it can hook you with. Also, Alien Isolation leaves the subscription. It is survival horror with stealth elements telling about Ellen Ripley's daughter, who tries to find out about her mother's fate, serving as a technician on space tugs. The player has to quietly and stealthily explore the locations in search of necessary items and ingredients for crafting in order to resist the xenomorph and survive on the space station. Alien Isolation really manages to create a haunting atmosphere and make the player feel like a victim who is about to be overtaken by the monster and torn to pieces. On 17th September, Marvel's Midnight Suns Enhanced Edition will leave the subscription. It is a turn-based tactical card game about Marvel superheroes developed by the creators of XCOM 2. Players will take on the role of the Hunter. This is the first fully customizable original hero in the Marvel Universe who will be able to customize his appearance. The authors offer a deeply customizable map-based combat system. To gain the upper hand in battle, you'll need to utilize the unique abilities of Marvel's many heroes and combine them intelligently with each other. Cloudpunk will be leaving the PS Plus Extra catalog in September. The player takes control of Rania, the new driver of Cloudpunk's semi-legal delivery company. His job is to deliver parcels and passengers by flying car around a futuristic city. You can also park the car in designated areas and explore parts of the city on foot to collect additional story items scattered throughout the city and unlock additional side quests. The next game to leave the subscription was Spiritfarer Farewell Edition. This is a kind of simulation and action platformer about a girl, Stella, who instead of Karen helps the dead to find peace in the afterlife. To do this, she has a boat and a ship that you can develop and build new guest cabins on it. I haven't played this game or even heard of it, but while preparing for the video, I learned a lot of positive reviews about the heartwarming nature of this project and stories that bring tears to my eyes. It doesn't have a lot of action. You don't have to kill anyone, so it's definitely worth a try for those who are tired of it and just want to relax and enjoy a beautiful, soulful game. Nar Replicant will be released from subscription on the 17th of September. It's a remaster of the third-person action game, which is a prequel to Nier Automata, and tells a story in which the protagonist tries to save his sister from a deadly disease. To do so, he embarks on a journey through a dying world that is ravaged by disease and nightmarish monsters. He is accompanied by a talking book, ready to fulfill any wish and grant powerful powers in exchange for a soul. Also, leaving the subscription in September will be 5-star ocean anime action RPG games. If any of these games appeal to you, hurry up and install them on your console and play them. Access to them will be closed on the 17th of September. Click the bell to stay up to date on which games are leaving and adding to extra and essential subscriptions.